Hi friends, welcome to Aishudiy. Today in this video we will learn how to make this pretty bracelet, and so let's go over the items that we need. In this bracelet I have used a 6 millimeter bicone in the center and 4 millimeter round check faceted truck beads on the side and 11 seed beads in anti-gold color. So these are the things that I used in this bracelet, but the bracelet that we are going to make, I want to make it a little bit different. This one actually goes really well on the hand, and as you can see, this itself is a big bracelet, but I want to do a little bit bigger bracelet than this. So here I have some 8 by 6 millimeter roundels. So, and then I have some 4 millimeter bicones and some gray lined metallic lemon seed beads. So these are the things that I have, and then I have a toggle clasp. You don't have to have a toggle clasp. You can actually have a lobster claw, whichever clasp you want, and a stopper bead. I have here a dark blue 11 seed bead as a stopper bead, and then I'm using wildfire 6 pound. You can use fireline, and I'm using a size 12 beading needle, and then I have threaded my needle in 2 yards of fireline. And then first thing I'm going to put is my stopper bead. So I'm just going to thread in my stopper bead, and I'm just going to leave about 10 inches of tail to 10 to 12 inches of tail to weave in the thread, and then I'm going to come back again through the stopper bead so that it's secured in place. We can add thread to this project, but it's up to you guys. Yes, I have here about 12 inches of tail, and let's get started. So I have always used a 6 millimeter pearl or a 6 millimeter bicone in the center. Today I'm just going to add 8 by 6 millimeter roundels. This is faceted in pretty turquoise color, and I'm just going to thread in 2 of the beads on my thread. Excuse my fingers, guys. I have some allergic reaction with the dish soap that I used, and it's not going away, and the doctor said it will get better in a couple of days. So, and I have threaded 2 beads, and then I'm going to take uh, at least 6. I'm thinking 6 or 5 or 6 seed beads. Yes, we will just see, because the amount that I have here in this bracelet, because it's a 6 millimeter, and I think 5 should be enough. Okay, because it's a 6 millimeter, I took 4 seed beads and 1 4 millimeter, but in this case I will use 5 to cover the 8 millimeter distance, and then a bicone, and then 5 seed beads. 3, 4, and 5. So I have here totally 10 seed beads and a bicone in the middle. Then I'm going to drop everything down to where our beads are, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back from the bottom, from the stopper bead up through the 2 8 millimeter 8 by 6 millimeter roundels. I'm going to check whether these ones are enough to cover. Yes, so as you can see, this is how it's covering, but there is a little bit of a gap. If you don't like the gap, we can actually shift it to a 4. So I like, hi friends, welcome back. I decided to go with the 5 seed beads and a bicone, and then 5 seed beads, And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip this on the side. It's just my preference. You can do it the other side too, doesn't matter, but I like to do it this way. So now again I'm going to pick up 5 11 seed beads, one 4mm bicone, and then 5 11 seed beads. So here I have 5 seed beads. There is only 4 here. Okay, 5 seed beads, and then I'm gonna drop it all the way down to my work, and then I'm gonna come back through the bottom, from the bottom through the center bead. So make sure at the start you will have a lot of thread to work with because you have threaded in a lot, so you need to be careful that it is not tangled. And then once you get this is what I have so far. Now I will pick one 6 by 8 millimeter center bead, and then one center bead, and drop it down. Okay, this is what I have so far. And now I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up 5 11 seed beads, one 4mm bicone, and then 5 11 seed beads, and then drop it down. Okay, now I'm going to come from the bottom where the stopper bead is to the top. I'm going to thread in 2 of the 8 by 6 millimeter roundels. I'm going in between these 2 of the first unit. I'm going to go through the last of the first unit and the one that we added. So these 2 are the ones that I'm going through, and then I'm going to pull my thread. If we do that, we will get the flap right on top of the previous one. Now what I will do is I will shift this to this side, to the left hand side. Again, I'm going to pick up 5 seed beads, 4mm bicone, and 5 seed beads. And then I'm going to drop those down to my work. There we go. Then go back through the center bead from the last unit and the center bead that we added in this unit, and then come back. Okay, just make it tight, don't leave any gaps. And this is how the bracelet is gonna look, as you can see. It's a little bit different than that one, but I really like the look. Now all we have to add is one 8 by 6 millimeter roundels, and then 5 11 seed beads, okay, and one 4mm bicone, and 5 11 seed beads. And then drop everything down. to the work. This is what we have so far. Now I'm going to go through the last bead from the previous unit and the bead that we added. So from here, just through the center beads. I really wanted to do this with a gemstone, but I don't know how big the hole will be, and it's always a risk. So I just shifted it to my left side. Now I am going to pick up 5 seed beads and one 4mm bicone, and then 5 seed beads. Okay, and then pass through these 2 beads, the bead center bead from the last unit and the bead that we just added to this unit, and then pull. Hold on. There we go. Make sure it's tight, and now again I'm gonna add 1 center bead and 5 lemon seed beads and 1 4mm bicone and 5 lemon seed beads. And then drop all of those down to our work. I have taken quite a big thread, so there is high chance that it might not, and as I predicted, it did. I'll take this knot off and be back. So I'm back, and I took the knot off. Now we have this so far. So I'm just going to go through the 8x6mm from the last unit, which is a little bit of a tough one if we are doing roundels, I believe. It was easy with the bicone. And then our second 8x6mm roundel, and then pull these tight. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip this on the side so it's easy for me to work with. I'm going to pick up 5 seed beads, 11 seed beads, 1 4mm bicone, and 5 11 seed beads. Then drop it down. Go through the center bead from the last unit and the center bead that we added in this unit. And this is what we have so far. Then what we are going to do is pick up one center bead and then 5 levanos and then one 4 millimeter and 5 levanos. There we go. And then drop all of those down. Now I'll go back through the 6 by 8 millimeter from the last unit and the one that we added here, and then pull the thread. So this is what. Then I'll flip this to this side. And then I'm going to pick up 5 levanos, one 4 millimeter and 5 levanos. And drop those down. And then go through 2 of the center beads. So this is the same pattern that's going to be continued for the entire length of the bracelet. Here I have some 6 inches of bead weaving, and then I added a bicone on the side and the toggle clasps. So I'm going to make 6 inches of this and then come back.